Hello, I'm Refashionista Sherry, stuck on my string curtain again. And today we are gonna attempt a tutorial that I have never tried before. I have put this off for years. For years I've been wanting to try this, but then I always convince myself, no, it's too hard, you're not gonna be able to do it. But you know what? I've put it off long enough. Let's give it a go. Today we are gonna take the leftovers from last week's tutorial. Remember this awful sweater that had two turtlenecks? Yeah, and so we're gonna take this and transform it into some awesome puffed sleeves, fingers crossed, hopefully, to add to this sweater that I had chopped the sleeves off to create this adorable fall jacket for my kiddo. I actually used 3 of my 30 days of Refashions tutorials to create this. So I have my bleached vest tutorial in there, the DIY sleeves tutorial, and the giant back pocket for your jacket tutorial. And you can see on this one here, I actually did add 2 pockets. We have 1, 2, plus a button closure there. So I'll link all those tutorials down below. Oh, and if you are totally digging my super comfy jumpsuit here, I'll also link my Groovy Jumpsuits ebook down below. Go download it. This tutorial is in there along with a bunch of other ones. So if you are a jumpsuit lover like me, you need that book. Now, you know what? Let's get making. Before we get started, I just want to show some appreciation to this design that was clearly made for me. So here we have a blonde girl with big, naturally wavy hair, and then moving down, she's clearly walking her dog named Jack, and her name starts with an S, so I truly could not leave this behind at the thrift shop, right? So as I said, I've never done this before, but I'm hoping the materials that I'm gonna need are a shirt or some kind of fabric to use to make my sleeves. Now I've decided to use this sweater, first of all, because I've already chopped into it, and second of all, because it has these existing sleeves, so I can easily use these for the bottom of my sleeves, and then I'm going to use the body part of the sweater to make the puffs that will go on top of these sleeves. That is the working theory. Anyway, oh, plus, of course, you need your garment that you want to add the sleeves to. So clearly the first thing I have to do is chop off this thing, whatever this is here. Next, I'm going to carefully chop off the sleeves. Okay, so because I want to have as much fabric as possible to create my puffs, I think I'm going to use this line here and just chop straight down all the way through to the end to make this into 2 pieces. Now I'm going to chop straight across to get rid of the neckline and the remaining shoulder seams. So now I have 2 pretty darn equal rectangles of fabric, and let's try to figure out now how we need to cut them. Everything that I have seen online, because of course I did do some research, and I couldn't find any tutorials at all that just kind of freehand this. Everything is like, oh, buy this pattern, download this pattern, use this pattern. And I'm not big on patterns, clearly. You know, my whole thing is I want to be able to do it without downloading, printing, just I want to be able to figure out how to make things myself in the quickest, easiest possible way. And then I want to share that information with you. So every single thing that I've seen kind of has a shape like a line and then a big semicircle and then another line, right? Because the line part is the kind of cuff part and the big semicircle clearly is the puff, because I actually have the sleeves that I'm going to attach the puff to. I don't think I need to do that big of the cuff on the actual puff part, because I'm going to add it, right? I'm going to add these sleeves to the puff. So I want to see just how big we can make this, And let's just give it a try. I have my tiny piece of chalk here, and I'm just gonna go, what is that, about 4 or 5 centimeters here from the bottom, and start my little line. And yeah, then just, let's see, go all the way up and then all the way back down, kind of like that. So yeah, so we have a big semicircle here, and now I'm going to cut this out, and hopefully we'll be on the right track. We'll see. Okay, so now I have 2 pieces that if I stitch them together, they would be like a ginormous beanie hat. Yeah, but I think I'm on the right track. Fingers, all the fingers and all the toes crossed. And right, next, I think I have to gather all of this edge up, and I'm going to do what I always do and do my lovely little pin tuck gathering, because that's just my favorite, and I find that it gives the neatest look. I will link down below to the video that has the tutorial for my pin tucks, and the other one that has the tutorial for how to gather fabric with your machine. So just do whatever you're comfortable doing. Like I said, I really like doing, you know, these pin tucks because I just think it gives a much neater final result than pulling with your machine. Okay, so I just started my pin tucks at this side, and I got about halfway around and realized, oh, that is not the way to go. So now I'm going to start over, but I am going to start it from the center of the top curve here, and then first work down one side and then work down the other side, because then I think it's going to be a lot neater and easier. It all nicely pinned now, and let's carefully flip it over and see if I'm on the right track. Oh yeah, look at that. When that is stitched together, look at that. If I can, look at that, that's gonna puff, man. That is gonna puff, okay. Oh, I'm getting excited now. Okay, so now let's go stitch this together carefully right along the edge, and yeah, let's, again, fingers crossed it's gonna work. It worked. It actually worked. And just as an extra thought, I guess if you ever wanted to make yourself like a bonnet, for whatever reason, like a Handmaid's Tale cosplay or something, this would be the way to go. Just make it super extra bigger to fit around your head. Although I think this one probably would fit around my head. Okay, I'm not exactly sure how to put all of this together, but I think I'm going to attach my puff first, and then see about attaching the kind of bottom of the sleeve, because that might be easier. If not, I'll just take it apart and start again. Okay, so I have my sweater inside out. I have my puff right side out. And I'm actually glad I put these little tabs here on the bottom of my puff, so I can remember what is the top and what is the bottom, because this is getting a bit confusing. Okay, so right side out, inside out. The right side out puff is going to go into the inside out sweater, and that way when they are flipped right side out, they will both be the right way, right? So I have it with the right sides facing. And I know I say that all the time, but I think by this time it's more for my own self, because it's happened too many times where I have put things together the wrong way. Okay, I think, does that look about even? I'm going to go do just a light basting stitch first and stitch this together to see if it's actually going to work. Okay, I have it stitched on, and now, seriously, now is the moment of truth. We are going to see this for the first time together, check if it worked or not. I am very nervous. What? Did it? What? Did it work? Oh, holy sh**. You guys, wow, I think it worked. That looks like a puff sleeve to me. Oh, I am so happy. Look at all the way around. It is puffed. It is pleated. It is, wow.
Okay, now I just kind of, I guess I gotta add the bottom bit. So let's do that. I am so happy that that worked. Okay, so I went ahead and stitched those ends down and then chopped off the excess little tabs that were there remaining. And I think with this sleeve, I'm going to leave this kind of diagonal cut, right? This used to be the shoulder area. And because these sleeves are actually 3/4 sleeves, I want them to be as long as possible. And if I'm putting this like here, this actually fits really perfectly into, you know, the area that it has to fit into, and I'm hoping I won't have to do any gathering here on the bottom of my puff, but we shall see. Okay, and once again, moment of truth. Let's let's see if I can do this right. So I have, once again, this is inside out, which means, see, there, this is why I do this, which means my sleeve has to be right side out, and I'm gonna pop it inside. And then the bottom sleeve seam, I'm going to line up with the side seam of the sweater and just pin that in place just to hold it for now. So I didn't want to rely on my crossed fingers and toes, so I did go ahead and pin everything in place here. So like I said, I started here with the seams, the underarm seam and the side seam pinned together, and then I just slowly went around and pinned all of this together. And I did need to do 2 pin tucks. I just did one kind of on either side of the center, so they should be kind of centered. So if this is the middle of the sleeve, I have one on either side, and then I just continued pinning. Okay, it is all stitched on, and now let's see if it actually worked. I'm really, I don't know. As with most of my tutorials, you know, like I said, this is the first time ever attempting this, and yeah, just trying to figure it out as I go along. And okay, this appears to have worked. Like, I don't think we can get any more puffy than that. And the long part of the sleeve is, it's all attached and it looks fine. I can't, again, yay, I am proud of myself. I am very proud of my little Refashionista brain that I managed to figure this out. And of course, you know, the first time ever attempting this, I had to try doing it with knits for some bizarre reason, but it worked. It worked. So now I'm going to go repeat the whole process on the other side, and then we're going to style it up.
We have puffed sleeves. Like, totally, seriously. And I still have free arm movement here. I was a bit concerned that my, you know, stitching on the sleeves again wasn't going to work, but it totally worked. So thank you to my Refashionista creative brain once again, because again, no pattern, just my brain and yeah, a couple of chopped up old sweaters, and look what I have now. Awesome, sawsome. And like I said, I had put off even attempting this for literally years because it looked so difficult. Now you know, it is not difficult. You just have to try, experiment, test things out, or, you know, take my Refashioning 101 eCourse. I am totally self-taught, and every single thing that I have learned over the years, I have put into my Refashioning 101 eCourse. It's all there from start to finish. You can do exactly what I do using similar things to what I use. I don't have an expensive machine. I have a secondhand machine. I use scissors that I got at IKEA years ago, and they're still fine. My thread is from the thrift shop, from the dollar store. Like, my pins are from the dollar store. I have nothing fancy at all. And again, that's what my course is all about. That's what I am all about, is showing people, teaching people that you don't need anything expensive, anything really to get started. Just a secondhand sewing machine, or not even a sewing machine. My eCourse has every single thing you could want to know about hand stitching, about embroidery, and then we move on to machine stitching. So it's all in there. Please do check it out. And I also do have my upcycled DIY gifts, and that is just a very cute and a quick and easy little course for you to do as well. And yeah, it will save you loads of money on nifty, thrifty gifties. But I mean, back to the puff sleeves, because wowza, these are so cool. I'm so pleased with myself. And yeah, if you guys have any requests of things you would like me to try, I'm definitely emboldened. Wonder Woman pose here. After this success, I'm definitely emboldened to try more and more different things that I feel might be difficult. I mean, at the end of the day, this was not difficult, was it? The tutorial's right there. We can all make them now. So do it. Go make them, share them with me, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I'll catch ya on the zig-zag. Puff, 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 puff. Mwah. Puff.
This is Confessions of a Refashionista.